Hello dear students, you are welcome in this video. Dear students, today we are going to talk about one of the world renowned political leader of America. And today we have for our discussion a promised land, the memoir, which has aroused a lot of discussion and which became bestseller in a few days. So today our discussion point is Barack Obama and his political memoir called A Promised Land. So dear students, I will state to you, first we will talk about the memoir and then we will talk about the relationship which Barack Obama discusses in his memoir to India. So what kind of relationship were there in India and America, and also personally or individually with Barack Obama. So dear students, let's talk about the promised land, a political memoir which have so many threads, which have so many levels for discussion. Today we will talk about it from the point of view of politics, or from the point of view of political atmosphere which he represented, Barack Obama, in America, and also there are some concerns about India in America in the presidential period of Barack Obama. So let's talk about A Promised Land. Dear students, this is the well-known personality and we have his A Promised Land. So dear friends, I hope you need not to tell more about Barack Obama, who was a former president of America, and how for the first time he became the black president of America, and his slogan still we remember, yes we can. So this yes we can is important, and students, here he composed a very good political memoir called A Promised Land. So here first we will talk about this political memoir and then the relationship he discusses there in this memoir. So dear students, you can see it is one of the best political memoirs and it is composed in 768 pages. And here we have a fine review of Indian Express. First I will read it and explain to you. I quote, "But A Promised Land, a beautifully written, poignant and measured presidential memoir, one of the best in that distinctive American genre, often reads in the overall arc of its narrative as an answer to the weight of expectations that Havel talks about." Now here you see the reference of Havel's. There is an article published in Indian Express, and in that article many things are explained in detail. So there is a reference of Havel, and here we also find the weight of expectations when Barack Obama became president of America. So there were many expectations of people from Obama and his government, and sometimes he discusses all these things. Later we will talk about the three reformations he promised to the Americans and obviously for the world. This memoir, A Promised Land, begins with humble origin and background, as it is an autobiography of Barack Obama. It's a political autobiography, so it begins with his humble background, from which family he came and how he rose to the ladder of success in politics, and his personality, many things right from childhood to the president. And this memoir covers the first part of his presidentship or the president tenure, that is till 2011. Next we also find he talks about family relationships, and especially we have a vivid presence of his grandmother and how he was influenced by his grandmother. And also this piece of work talks about his interest in all kinds of people, and when you go through various pages, various chapters, you will understand how Barack Obama has keen interest in different types of people, in different types of personalities, and how he talks about them up to an extent. We also will talk about his relationship with Dr. Manmohan Singh, India's former prime minister and how he was in touch with Manmohan Singh and what kind of relations they formed. So these kind of people he talks all the time in this memoir in his A Promised Land. So basically this is a story of all kind, a human story, and many scholars call it as a human story because this story came from a very humble background, from a person who was humble in his background, who was a very common person, and later he became one of the great leaders of world. And all this step by step formation of a great leader is comprised in this political memoir A Promised Land. So this is the strong point about A Promised Land, and I recommend you please read this A Promised Land if you have interest in political writing. So this is the best, and I also recommend it for the study of personality of a great political leader, a great person, a varied kind of talent you see in Barack Obama. So as I already mentioned, it covers up to his first term as a president, that is till 2011. Now it is very evident in the story of his political rise how he rose right from a state legislator to the president. Everything is discussed in the detail. You will find different types of chapters included there, and these chapters right from his childhood to the his presence as a political leader when he became the first legislator and for the first time legislator, and how his journey right from legislator, state legislator to the president of America, the superpower in the world. So everything is discussed in detail. So dear students, basically this Promised Land talks about three changes or reformations. First we have political style, then economic reforms, and the issue of race. All the three things are very significant, and in his campaign Barack Obama all the time talked about these three changes or reformations, not only in America, but he wanted to give something to the world, the political style. And if you see his political career and his political tenure, you will find how he changed this political atmosphere not only in America, but he formed a eventful impact on the remaining world too. So this is the great thing about Barack Obama. But at the same time he has to bear the burden of unfulfilled expectations. Up to a larger extent he became successful in giving his political style in the economic reformations, and he also handled the issue of race, and that's why he became the black president of America. And this is in itself a great thing for the issue he is talking about, the race, and he handled both the sides of whites and the side of black people. And there we find the skill in him, a person, a manager in Barack Obama, his interest in all types of people and how he handled the different matters. And also we have a great political upheaval in America right in the form of Barack Obama. Now dear students, let's talk about his connection to India. Now Barack Obama in the initial talks about his upbringing and some of the Indian friends when he was in Indonesia with his grandmother, and while studying in Indonesia he heard about the Mahabharata and Ramayana, the powerful sacred texts of Hinduism or the powerful texts in Asia. Ramayana and Mahabharata is very popular, and he also heard when he was studying there in Indonesia. And also he was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi as he was influenced by Martin Luther King. So we also find that many times he talked about Mahatma Gandhi, and there are a lot of references in this A Promised Land, references of Mahatma Gandhi and his theory and his philosophy. Then he talks about the relationship with India as the president. He visited India in 2010 and gives detailed account of his visit to India, and he became the sitting president of America who visited India twice. So that is also the greatness of Barack Obama, and it focuses the relationship with India. So we find here he talks about Indian politics. He also visited Mumbai and places in Mumbai, and he also talks about these visits in detail in this A Promised Land. Now, dear students, as I earlier talked that his views on Manmohan Singh in Copenhagen summit, Barack Obama calls Manmohan Singh as Mr. Guru. So you can understand his feelings to the former Prime Minister of India, Manmohan Singh, when he calls him as Mr. Guru. Next, he talks about he had a great rapport with Manmohan Singh. He developed a warm and productive relationship, and here we find he used these words for Dr. Manmohan Singh. I quote, wise, thoughtful and scrupulously honest. So these are the words he wrote about Dr. Manmohan Singh in his political memoir. Now he also talks about how Manmohan Singh was cautious in foreign policy. He also thinks about Manmohan Singh as the uncommon wisdom and decency. He considers him a man of uncommon wisdom and decency. Now we also have next his views on Sonia Gandhi, the Congress leader, the president of Congress party, and he describes Sonia Gandhi as a striking woman of 60s dressed in a traditional sari, and he also mentioned that when he met Sonia Gandhi listened more than she spoke. So that was his observation regarding Sonia Gandhi. And here we also found how kind of bond they were among them, Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi, and next he also talks about Rahul Gandhi. And we found that there rose a political uproar in India when this A Promised Land published, because we find there is a remark of Barack Obama regarding Rahul Gandhi. Now let's see what Barack Obama said about Rahul Gandhi and his views on Rahul Gandhi and remarks on Rahul Gandhi. So he says that Rahul Gandhi seems smart and earnest. This is the good words he spoke about Rahul Gandhi. His good looks resembling his mother's looks. And next he also states that a nervous, unformed quality about him, about Rahul Gandhi. I quote his words, if he were a student who had done the coursework and was eager to impress the teacher but deep down lacked either the aptitude or passion to master the subjects. Now this statement has caused the uproar in Indian politics, and we find there are positive and negative reviews in newspapers and televisions about Rahul Gandhi and Barack Obama, and there was a large debate formed in India regarding these statements. Many thought that Rahul Gandhi is not a capable, but many also thought that Rahul Gandhi is a capable leader, and that's why Barack Obama says about him, he was a smart and earnest leader and his looks resemble to his mother's looks. So this kind of things or this kind of discussions happened in the Indian media and Indian politics. So this is the weight, this is the value we can say that this political memoir brought with him. Not only it impacted America, but it also has impact in the remaining world, the country like India. So dear students, this is what Barack Obama states in his A Promised Land, and this is a beautifully styled book. You can read it. I will definitely recommend you to read, not only for political interest but for the study of a great personality, a great leader, a very conscious and very wise leader we have among us with this A Promised Land. So dear students, this is all about Barack Obama and his Promised Land. I hope you understood all the things and you like this A Promised Land. So please read it and also like our video. Also subscribe to Literature Simply and press the bell notification icon. I will leave a link of this A Promised Land in the description. So please find it. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much.